Hey guys, Trevor with Shadow Systems. It's Technical Tuesday, and we're going to talk a little bit about materials. So, the material that our firing pins are made out of is something that we talk about quite a bit. 17.4 stainless steel is something you see a lot in the gun industry, and it's kind of because everybody has sort of settled upon it as sort of the premium stainless steel that has a really nice ability to take heat treat, long wear resistance, some level of corrosion resistance. It's resistant to fracture and catastrophic failure. It just kind of does well. So for our firing pins, we choose to use 17.4, and in fact, we do the same for our slides. I also have a Glock firing pin, which is a MIMmed part, right? So Glock has been MIMming their firing pins for a long time, and let me also say that this is not a rant on MIM, because there are some great applications for MIM, and there are MIM parts in our guns in certain places. But we just think for a firing pin, frankly, the difference in cost is not enough to justify offering a part that's basically inferior to a true billet part. Okay, well, is it inferior, right? We've kind of tried to devise a test to show the difference and show the strength. And we've done a few things along the way in testing our parts. And so I was going to show you something that we've done before with our parts that we just periodically do to see how they fare, and then compare it to a Glock factory part, okay? So Glock factory 9mm striker compared to, we'll do 2 Shadow Systems strikers. Okay, so all we're gonna do is kind of test the location where you actually see failure in a firing pin if you see failure. Really, the place that it breaks is the tip, right? It's the weakest place and it's subject to all the impact of repeat firing. Have seen our firing pins break, but I will say that every time that's happened, we've traced it back to a slide that had a firing pin hole that was shaped like a piece of macaroni. So a high quality slide will have a squared, cornered, EDM cut firing pin hole in the breech face. You'll see those on Glock slides, you'll see that on our slides, most of the top brands. You'll also see slides periodically that have a broach cut, which is a different process for cutting the hole, and they tend to wander a little bit. And when we've seen these firing pins break, we've sometimes seen a wear line along the back where the firing pin was getting twisted as it traversed the slide. So we've done many tens of thousands, possibly now over 100,000 of these pins. We've seen only a handful break. And again, when I say handful, I mean like less than 10. And it's always been related to the slide. So we're gonna show though, just in a more kind of graphic way, how strong this part is. So I'm gonna do the shadow parts first, and I've just got a vise here with some steel jaws in it, and all I'm gonna do is put the firing pin in the jaws, and I'm gonna get it nice and tight, okay? And then we're just gonna count, because we got a little bit of slop, a little bit of side-to-side play there. This jaw is a little farther back than that one, so you can see I can bend the firing pin over to one side. So I'm gonna bend this tip, we'll see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 to break, okay? Let's get that little piece out of there, and we'll do another one. So that was a Shadow Systems billet firing pin. So we got 14 last time. Tighten it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. How about that for consistency, right? Okay, so 14 to 15. Okay, so here we have a Glock OEM firing pin. Oops. That little piece of metal is still in there, sorry. Okay, Glock OEM firing pin. And let's see what we get. Nice and tight. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So no tricks, no games, that's just the difference, right? So most high quality MIM parts are about 95% dense, right? The MIM process starts with basically a binding agent that holds all of that powdered material together, and then that binding agent basically leaves the part as it's sintered, and then finally as it's hardened, and you're left with a part that's a great part. And again, some applications where it's awesome, but frankly, it's just never gonna be as dense, it's never gonna be as tough, and I think we proved that here. So that's the Shadow Systems billet firing pin. We also use the same material for our depressor plungers and our safeties. All available on our website, And by all means, call us if you have questions, because we love to talk to customers, as we always say. And we will see you again next Tuesday.